What's going on, guys? Tristan24 here. Welcome back to a video on the channel. Today I've got for you match week 44 predictions in the championship. That is right, guys. And of course, last match week we've had so much has happened. Two inevitables that could have easily been predicted at the start of the season, really. Of course, FULHAM now, they are a Premier League club for next season. They did beat Preston 3-0. Also, Derby County, despite having all the suspicion if they could stay up after their 21-point deduction, they have sadly now been relegated to League One. I don't think it's the end of the world for them. Of course, maybe League One will have a rebuild for them. Of course, for Fulham, we can probably expect them to come back down next season, of course, as the yo-yo between them and Norwich, of course, continues, because they're the only ones that go up and down the Premier League in the Championship. Anyway, guys, you may be wondering, Tristan, you have got a nice new top on. I know I have. Swansea City, 110 years. This t-shirt is because Swans did the double over Cardiff for the first ever time. Oh, look how nice it looks. Cardiff City fans, I know you will be wanting to buy this top. Unfortunately, it is now sold out. And just to make it better, on the back it's got the lineups of when we beat you 3-0 and 4-0. So that's 7-0 in aggregate this season we've beaten you, Cardiff. So just so you never forget it, this top will always be on for Derby days. Anyway, guys, let's get into the video and predictions. First of all, though, we have to get into Huddersfield versus Barnsley. It's a massive game in the Championship. Huddersfield just beat Middlesbrough, and I think they win or draw this one, and they have confirmed themselves a playoff spot. It's remarkable. For Barnsley, they have to win this one. However, if Reading win their game, then both Peterborough and Barnsley will be relegated. For this one, though, I think Huddersfield are going to get the job done in a 3-0 win. Lee Nichols just looks so good. He doesn't look like conceding. Huddersfield front line are on fire. And even defenders like Sarr getting on goals. It's so good. So I think 3-0 Huddersfield in this one. Moving on to the lunchtime game on Saturday, it is Luton against Blackpool, who beat Birmingham 6-1 on Easter Monday, which is incredible. Surely now for Birmingham it's Boa out, but we'll move on to that in a second. Luton, however, massive win against Cardiff. What a header it was as well, to be fair to them. And they keep on going. I'm pretty sure for them as well, if they win this one, I think they also need other results to go their way to confirm their playoff spot. But them Huddersfield and Forest, of course, and Bournemouth and Fulham have been superb this season. Sheffield United also, and some of the other teams in contention for the playoff spot, but they haven't been as consistent as these teams, and that's why they're below them, of course. For this one, for a score prediction, Blackpool haven't got anything to play for. They're away from home. I think the home crowd of Kenilworth Road will be behind Luton, of course, and they will get a 3-1 win, a massive result for them. Birmingham against Millwall is next. Millwall, of course, going into Easter Monday before kick-off at Bristol City against Sheffield United. Level on points with Sheffield United, which is massive for them and makes their playoff hopes, very realistic and very much so still alive. Birmingham, of course, got absolutely smacked against Blackpool 6-1, as I say. And surely now it's time for change at Birmingham once again. I think Bowyer has to go now, or the club's been, the fan base has been calling for the owners out for quite some time now. Something needs to happen for next season, otherwise I could see Birmingham really struggling next season. And for a club of their size, it doesn't seem right. For a score prediction in this one, I'm going to say Birmingham 0, because they have no attacking threat, although you have the likes of Troy Deeney, who did, rightly so, apologise to the fans after the game, the 3,000 that sold out the Blackpool away end after seeing that horror show. I think they'll lose 3-0 to Millwall, who are just on absolute flames right now. Bournemouth against Fulham. Now, a couple of weeks ago, we just said this is a massive game, and Fulham, who couldn't get the job done, they had to do it the third time of asking to get promoted, because of course they had a few chances before that. The earlier game, the reverse victory of this in the season, was massive, where Solanke gave them the lead. Bournemouth, of course, just after half time, I think it was like 30 seconds after half time or something crazy like that. Well worked goal. For this one, I do think Fulham, they're on the beach right now really. They've secured promotion. We'll see how dodgy they can be when they're off focus. So I'm actually going to back Bournemouth to get the 3 points and all but certainly cements their place in second. Of course, they have a lot of in-hand games to play. I think they've now played 41 games, which leaves them 5 games to go, minus this one, which is 4, of course. So they've got a lot to play. But for this one, I'm going to say Bournemouth are going to win this one 2-1. Up next is Derby, of course, against Bristol. Derby, now the pressure's sort of off them a little bit, because they've now finally been relegated, which was inevitable to happen. Bristol, they're so hard to predict really. They can have a good week and then a bad week, and you just don't know what's going to happen. For this one though, I'm going to say, because Derby, the pressure's sort of off them a little bit, they're going to miss Tom Lawrence, who of course got sent off in the last minutes against QPR. I think Bristol will fancy their chances in this one and get a 1-0 away victory. This will be the first home game for Derby since they have been relegated. But of course, hopefully they come back better and stronger after League One. Hull against Reading is the next game. Reading, fair play to them. I'm a Swansea fan. We were 4-1 up. We just thought we were in cruise control, and fair play to the Reading players and belief of them. Brilliant mentality to come back from 4-1 down, especially after you've gone 1-0 up in the 3rd minute. So for this one, I'm going to go 1-1. Hull, they're quite tough really, aren't they, to play against the second half of the season. Next season will be very exciting for them, but for this one, I'm going to say 1-1. Peterborough against Forest is next. This is a big game for Peterborough. They could be announced as relegated back down to League One after this weekend, after Saturday at around 5 o'clock. Against Forest, who could cement and confirm their playoff spot at 5:30 on Saturday. Of course, they do need Middlesbrough and Millwall both to lose for that to happen. For this one, I don't think it's going to be as straightforward as Forest fans may think. I think Peterborough are going to give them a very, very tough game. But in the end, I do think Forest will come out winners in a 2-1 victory. By the way, that Jack Colback goal was absolutely out of this world, guys. And maybe even goal of the season. Was it a cross? Was it a shot? Let me know in the comment section down below. I'm still not too sure, but we'll give it to him. I think it was maybe a shot. It's hard to say. Next up is Sheffield United against Cardiff, and this is an interesting one. Sheffield United recently haven't been on the best of form. They have the players to do so, and I think they have like 5 strikers in the squads. In their squads, of course, and none of them were in the matchday squad against Bristol. And they do play a formation, of course, every team plays a formation with strikers. And I found that really interesting. They're back at home now and against Cardiff, who nothing to play for and not the greatest really. It's all about next season for them, which doesn't look too good from where I'm, from my point of view and many other fans of the Championship. But for this one, I'm going to say Sheffield United will win 2-1. This is always a really close game if you look back back through the other games, between these two teams. It's been really close. So Sheffield United to get a 2-1 win, and that is massive for their playoff hopes. Up next is Stoke, and they play QPR. Stoke, very, very inconsistent. So hard to call. The last 2 match weeks were 3 even. I've got them wrong. Against QPR, who I got them wrong last time. I thought Derby were going to get a win. They didn't. QPR sort of returned into their form again, and luckily for them, 6th place Sheffield United haven't really been on top form, so if they win here, they could go back into the playoff spots on goal difference, which is mad, really, to think about that. I'm going to say QPR are going to get the 3 points in a 2-1 away victory, but I'm predicting Stoke to lose. Knowing my luck now, Stoke are going to win. Up next is Swansea against Middlesbrough. I might even be going to this game, guys. I'm not too sure, but if I am, then it'll be an insane game against Middlesbrough, who I don't think they've scored in the last 2 games. So, you know, all on Swansea then, who have been very underwhelming after, of course, that week where we beat Cardiff, we beat Millwall, then we beat Derby, of course, and then we just fell off on Easter weekend against Barnsley and against Reading. And if we beat them too, you know, which we probably should have, let's be honest, we'd only be 2 points off playoffs, but instead now we're 6 points off playoffs. So it could have been on, it's not on anymore. But for Millwall, we can have a say, not Millwall, for Middlesbrough, we can have a say on what happens to them. And we also play Bournemouth, Forest and QPR as well, which is very interesting, because we have a say on who finishes where, sort of, if you get what I mean, guys. We can help other teams out. So for this one, Middlesbrough haven't beaten Swansea at the Liberty or Swansea.com, whatever you want to call it, in, I don't think, in the last like 15 matches. So all statistics and things are leaning towards Swansea. So not being biased, I think Swansea are going to get a 1-0 cheeky win. West Brom against Coventry is the next one. This is really hard to call. Coventry, they're still in the playoff race, but they have to win this game. West Brom are out of it. They got smacked by Nottingham Forest last week, 4-0. Of course, Furlong will be suspended for this one, of course, as well. Haven't received that red card for this one. I do think Coventry are going to get the 3 points in a 2-1 away victory. There's nothing they could do against Bournemouth last time out. They outplayed them, really. But for this one, Coventry to get back to winning ways away at West Brom. And the final game of the match week is Preston against Blackburn. This is going to be a really, really interesting game, because Preston, they will finish mid-table quite convincingly, really, and next season looks quite exciting for them. Blackburn still in with a chance for the playoffs. Will it happen? I don't know now. They just don't look like they're no threat about them, and even if they do go 1-0 up, you're just like, Blackburn are going to bottle it. You can just sense it. So for this one, I'm going to back the Ryan Lowe side to get a 1-0 home victory. Blackburn, man, you're just bottling it at the wrong time. If they definitely have preferred to lose these games early on in the season and have a late push, but it's all falling apart. Tony Mowbray affected the second half of the season. And guys, that is it for today's video. I hope you've enjoyed. If you have, do drop a like and subscribe. Drop your comments in the comment section down below, and I'll see you in the next video very soon. Until then, guys, take care. Goodbye. 110 years, one double. Remember that, Cardiff. Bye, guys.